Yo, my ningens. What is up? What is good? It's your boy Sub the Savage. And we are back with another video. But this is not just any video. This is the first episode in a new series that I'm doing. I know I make a new series every other week. Okay? But this is different. Like I said previously, this is the first episode to, I don't know, I still have no idea what to call this series, but what we are going to be doing is we are going to be breaking down the age-old question. Well, not the age-old question, but like a question that I told you guys that I'm going to be doing. So this is episode 1 of the unnamed series. What are fighting games? So this is going to be more or less not a broad topic, but it kind of is. So I'm going to basically be telling you guys what are fighting games. I'm pretty sure you guys know what fighting games are, but like I'm going to break it down in more of like what is a fighting game in the terms of an actual like traditional fighting game, like that you would see in the FGC, like a fighting game that you would see at EVO or like at tournaments and stuff like that. So, and I'm also going to be breaking down like what is like a traditional FGC fighting game and what's a non-FGC fighting game. So let's actually get into that real quick. So we're gonna go through the list of, off the top of my head, we're gonna go over what are some of the I wouldn't say like non-traditional fighting games, but more or less these are more or less like 3D arena fighters that isn't that okay. So these are the non-traditional FGC, well, not really FGC, but non-traditional fighters. So these are games that are like 3D arena fighters, or yeah, basically kind of like just 3D arena fighters. So those would be your Naruto Ninja Storm series, your Dragon Ball Xenoverses, and your Jump Forces, and that's basically it. Now I'm gonna go over what like makes them not a traditional fighting game. So in a traditional fighting game, there are two broad genres. You have the 2D and the 3D. Now I know I said 3D arena fighters aren't traditional fighting games, but the key words: arena fighters. Now there are 3D fighting games: Soul Calibur, DOA, and Tekken. I mean, those aren't the only ones, but those are the only ones that I know of. Now when you look at those games, they're completely different from Storm 4 and Jump Force and Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Now what makes them different from what makes those two worlds different are the DP. You have different things, well, different aspects. Sure, you have health bars, engages, and supers and specials and stuff like that, and combos. Yeah, those are all like similar. But what makes, let's say, Storm 4 different from Dragon Ball Fighters? Those are kind of two perfect examples. They're both anime games, but they're two completely different games, two completely different things. Now with Storm 4, You have things like, how should I put this? I would say you have things that wouldn't normally be in a traditional fighting game. You have, I guess you would say, not really jankiness. You have stuff that's relatively broken. That's you wouldn't really normally see in a fighting game. You have stuff like Madara or Kaguya, or stuff like the ninja tools and Team Ultimates, and just like Ultimates kind of like in general, and stuff like weird, very weird hitboxes. And I know hitboxes are a thing in fighting games, and hitboxes in fighting games are very weird too, but like not to the degree of Storm 4. Madara, he could reach you across the screen with just one button. Like, and the reach on that character is ridiculous. Or PTS Rock Lee. PTS Rock Lee is extremely fast. His pressure with the assist are leagues above a lot of other characters. There are infinites and loops in the game that can go on for hours. Not to mention some characters, I don't know if that's still a thing in Storm 4, but it's been a while since I played it, but some characters can instantly go into Awakening while others can't. I don't know if that's still a thing in Storm 4. If you guys still play Storm 4, or if you guys know, let me know down in the comments below, because I can't remember to save my fucking life. So yeah. Oh yeah. Here's another like big one here's another big differentiator from traditional fighters and those 3D arena fighters. Some of them have custom characters, and if you guys play Xenoverse 2, you know the custom created characters. Specifically, I think it's probably still the human Earthlings. Well, the male Earthlings, human Earthlings. That sounds hella redundant. The human males, they're broken, and a lot of stuff in that game is very broken that you can abuse. Like, if I remember correctly, some people would like go into like, they would break your guard and then just like key blast. They would like punch, key blast, and just keep that up for like forever, basically. You couldn't escape it, and they would just do stuff that would break your guard, and just you wouldn't have a fun time. With fighting games, there are infinites, and there are ways to like keep pressure and keep you blocking, but like there's a thing called a 50-50 in fighting games, which basically you have a 50% chance of guessing right or guessing wrong if you're on the defense, and if you're on the attack, you have a 50-50 chance of guessing right and guessing wrong, of opening your opponent up and getting the hit, or having them block you. And also there's this thing in fighting games, in most fighting games now, called push block, where it's a get off me tool. And what a get off me tool is basically pushing your opponent away and getting them off, basically disabling their pressure, so they can't like have you in the corner or have you stuck somewhere for like forever, for the entire match. So I hope those explanations of like what is and what isn't a fighting game in a traditional FGC sense, I hope that was like clearer for you guys. If it wasn't, I will make a follow-up video where I go more depth with it. But yeah, that should give you guys kind of like a base idea on what isn't a traditional fighting game. Now on to the actual meat and bones. What is a traditional fighting game? So a traditional fighting game is a 2D or 3D fighter. When I say 2D fighter, think of games that like Dragon Ball Fighters, Street Fighter, Blaze Blue cross tag battle. Basically almost any anime fighter at that. So yeah, so games like Street Fighter, DBZF, Blaze Blue, Under Night, Guilty Gear, traditional Blaze Blue. So yeah, games like that. They are 2D. You're always facing your opponent. Unless you do something stupid. Unless there's something janky. Oh yeah, by the way, the word jank or janky is basically a term in the FGC for like it's very weird and like stuff that happens that's very weird or like very WTF or what the fuck. So so yeah, with that explanation out of the way, yeah, so it's basically you're always facing your opponent. I wouldn't say there's an 8-way direction because you're always on the ground, but there are only 4 ways of movement, which is up, down, and left and right. So yeah, there's that. That's kind of like really like the 2D plane, and there is a corner basically, and there's a corner. There's a right corner and left corner, and trust me, you do not want to be put in either one of the corners. If you're the one putting the person in the corner, yeah, that's good, do that, but trust me, you do not want to be the one getting put in the corner, because if you get put in the corner, you're going to get stuck. You're gonna have to deal with stuff like it's not fun. That's what push block is for. That's what get off me tools are for. So you won't have to deal with the oppression of being put in a corner for long periods of time, and basically having to be okay, I'm sorry. And basically having to be put in a one-player game situation. When people say this is a one-player game, that's what they mean. When you're put in a corner and you're oppressed and you can't do anything about it. What else kind of like basically makes a fighting game? I mean, that's kind of basically it. That's kind of like just fighting games in a nutshell. Oh yeah, I didn't go over 3D. I'm such a smart guy. So 3D fighting games. I already mentioned them before. Soul Calibur, Tekken, DOA. Those games have, I would say, they do have like 8-way movement. Yeah, they basically have 8-way movement, which is up, down, left, right, down, back, up, back, forward, down, and up, forward. I don't know, I haven't like really went over the 8-way movement that much, so yeah. In fighting games, we have our own unique language. Depending on the game that you play, there's different like variations of how we would say a move. So like the traditional Hadouken, or in Dragon Ball sense, the Kamehameha wave is quarter circle forward and a button. Quarter circle key blast. In the FGC, we would say quarter circle forward and S. Well, not really. Some of us would, but in the FGC, specifically Dragon Ball, we have numpad notions. I made a video going over numpad notions. It will be down in the description below. So basically, what we would say for the Kamehameha would be 236. It would be 236S, which is basically quarter circle back quarter circle back X or quarter circle back A. The reason for the FGC language is universal. So no matter where you're from, whether you're playing PS4, Xbox, or if you're on Steam, you can understand what we're saying. It's a universal language. So no matter where you're from, you can understand what somebody is saying. What else is there? I mean, what makes a 3D and 2D fighting game different is the movement. We have, in 3D games, you have sidestepping. So you can move forward, you can move right and left, and forward and back. So, say for instance, you're playing Tekken, and somebody throws a jab at you. You can sidestep the jab and punish them. Or if they do something very unsafe, like they throw like a haymaker or something, and you sidestep the haymaker, then you can fully punish them. You can fully hit them for doing that because it's unsafe. Some moves, they can track you though. Some moves they can track you and hit you if you're sidestepping. Let's see. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's kind of like 3D fighters, 2D versus 3D in a nutshell. If you guys want me to go more in depth on 2D versus 3D, I will make another video. I actually might make another video explaining that 2D versus 3D because there's so much to cover. I don't want this video to be too long. So yeah, that's basically fighting games in a nutshell. Basically, what is a fighting game, or what are fighting games? So yeah, that's it. Hope this video was helpful. I hope this video was informative. If you guys like this video, please leave a like. It helps me out a lot. It brings, I wouldn't say it brings my channel up. I don't know this whole algorithm because algorithm of YouTube changes every other week, so I don't really know. But liking the video helps me a lot. It gets my video seen a lot more than what it would be if it didn't get liked. So please leave a like and share this with everyone that you know. Share this with people who want to learn fighting games, who want to get better at fighting games. I wouldn't say that's my whole channel's purpose, but that is my sole purpose. That's why I made this channel. So anyways, I'll see all you ningens later. Shebang, bitches.